we're making fun of him for crying, but first of all, there's nothing wrong with having emotions. Second of all, I think he proved last night he's still a pretty tough guy.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
The best
Awesome.
revenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One
well
more
said.
reason to buy a Flores jersey for all of the Mets fans out there, but you're a Yankees fan, so we'll forgive you.
That was not public information. Yankee
Exactly.
allegiance.
All right. We're going to move on now to a very different kind of story. The intensifying search right now for a young software engineer from Seattle who went missing without a trace more than a week ago. Police are now gathering DNA from the man's apartment, hoping it will help them figure out what happened to him. And ABC's Philip Mena is on the story.
This morning, a desperate search for this man, Jeremiah Foucault. The 34-year-old engineer who worked in Oracle's Bellevue office has been missing in Seattle since earlier this week.
Thank you so much.
His friends taking the lead in a citywide search.
Our friend has gone missing. We've been looking for him for a week.
The search for the software engineer now in its 11th day. This surveillance video believed to be his last sighting. That's Jeremiah with the backpack, walking down the stairs at a nearby bus station on his way to work July 22nd. But he never showed up there.
If there was nothing else to do, we would just hope. But right now, I feel like there's so many things that haven't been thought of.
The only other clue is this video, believed to be Jeremiah driving into his apartment garage the day before he vanished. Jeremiah is an avid golfer and snowboarder. His friends say he never misses a social event, which makes his disappearance more alarming.
He got up, got ready for work, and fell off the planet.
You saw his friends that are going around passing out flyers. They've also taken to social media, setting up a Facebook page, all in the name of trying to find any clue that might lead to Jeremiah's safe return.
Sounds like this is something totally out of his character just to leave and not tell anybody where he was.
It is so perplexing.
All right, Philip, we want to thank you. And we want to turn now to this next story. It is nothing short of extraordinary. A New York college student, she's lucky to be alive after a 2.5-ton tree, look at that, slams through the roof of her house, and it pinned her right in her own bed. This morning, she's home from the hospital, and we are hearing from her for the first time since that freak accident. Sarah is all over this remarkable story.
Well, it was definitely a freak accident, but I don't really need more reasons to be scared at night. And this story is another one of those where it came down to a matter of inches as to whether this woman would live or die.
Without them, I wouldn't be here.
Bursting with emotion and gratitude.
I cannot express in words how thankful I am for everyone who saved my life.
Surviving a 5,000-pound tree crashing into the bed where she was sleeping, 20-year-old college student Stephanie Epstein speaking out for the first time about the 2 hours spent pinned under the massive tree and her miraculous survival.
All of a sudden, I heard a loud crash. Thought it was a big strike of thunder. And the next thing I knew, I was pinned under the tree.
Her father rushing to her room in their Long Island home to find her trapped and begging for help.
And you realize that there's a tree trunk laying across your daughter. I swear it's the most frightening moment of my life.
It took dozens of rescue workers over 2 hours late Sunday night to free her.
Trying so hard to breathe, just focusing, shutting my eyes, hoping that would help time pass, and begging everyone to get this tree off me, please.
Each minute felt like 10 years, and this went on for almost 2.5 hours.
Other than bruises and some muscle damage in her legs, Stephanie escaped without serious injury. A miracle doctors attribute to the fact that she was sleeping on her side, saying mere inches separated her from a much more serious injury.
The fact that you have a 5,000-pound tree fall on you and you're pinned to the bed without any life-altering injuries, I just think it's incredible. She is one lucky girl.
Now, there was no proof. They don't really know what happened yet, but they suspect there were some roots that were rotting, and that caused the tree. But it's so sad because, like, you think about how much you love a huge tree in your front yard. You never think to sleep far from it on the other side of the house.
I'm definitely going to sleep on my side from now on.
Ugh. Another reason to change your sleep position. Thanks.
I already sleep on my side.
Oh, you do? Okay, you're ahead of the curve.
I am. Rob, do you sleep on your side or your stomach? Or
I do sleep on the bottom floor. Not that I have 2 floors in my apartment, but if you're in a storm and you have trees in your house, it's not a bad idea at night to go down to the bottom floor of your home, and it gives you one more
in the basement.
Yeah, well, that too. That's
All
not
right.
a bad idea. All right, we take you to Phoenix where the wind was blowing yesterday because there were thunderstorms around the area and the winds were kicking up the dust. There you see a rain shaft near the airport. Not a ton of rain around Phoenix, but enough to kick around the dust. The problem with these storms this time of year in the monsoon, they can drop a whole lot of rain in a hurry, and it does not take a lot to cause flash flooding. So we've got flash flood watches that are posted again today, especially for southern parts of Nevada, including Las Vegas, and flash flood watches also for parts of the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle there. Temperatures today are going to be, well, humid with temperatures right around 103. Believe it or not, it is humid this time of year out there, and there's going to be some thunderstorms that are smattered about the area, and again, some of those can dump some heavy rain. Flash flood watches also for parts of northern Florida. Boy, it has been so wet here from Tampa up through Jacksonville, and I think you're going to get more rain today. Miami, by the way, got over 2 inches of rainfall yesterday. They need it. That was a record. They'll be probably shut out today. Again, most of the rain's going to be right around on that stall frontal boundary. By the way, north of that front is where we saw that beautifully dry air that the east has been enjoying and will continue to enjoy, I think, through the weekend. That's a quick check in your national outlook. Here's what's shaking locally for you.
And good morning to you. For our first day of August, it is going to be another hot one. We do start off pretty comfortable in the mid-70s, working our way up to 83 by 10 o'clock. Your high today back in the low 90s. The good news, most of us are going to be staying dry for today. Won't be any issues there for you, but where we are going to run into some wetter weather will be by the beginning of the week. 30% chance on Monday as we work our way into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday specifically. Those will be the days you really need to pack the umbrella.
Another hurricane in the eastern Pacific, Hurricane Guillermo, or if you're from South America, Guillermo. We'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Language with Rob.
Well done.
Thank you,
It's heading towards Hawaii, although they shouldn't be too worried. Mahalo.
So many languages this morning. Thank you, Rob. Coming up here on GMA, look at this. Why police say this father tried to run down a group of teenagers with his SUV. The charges he's facing this morning.
Plus the surfer versus the shark. New video this morning of Mick Fanning's all-too-close encounter and how he lived to tell that tale.
And one of country music's biggest stars is on Tinder, but it's because of a single, not because he's single. I hope you caught that.
We did.
We'll be right back.
So you're saying there's not a chance?
Good Morning America is brought to you by CarMax. Start the...
This guy roamed the earth over 65 million years ago.
Like our van.
Yeah, we need to sell it.
Hi. Need an appraisal?
Yeah, we do.
When selling your car, start with a written offer. No strings attached. CarMax. Start here.
When heartburn comes creeping up on you, fight back with